But today we're going to do something different. We had a YouTuber actually respond to one of our videos, and we really appreciate him. His name is Phil Aram. He wrote us, asked us. We said, sure, great, go for it. He sent us the link. We watched it, and I wasn't initially, Lacey hasn't seen this yet, just FYI. But I watched it, and initially I was like, oh, we're not going to bother responding. But then it got, within a couple of minutes, it got kind of wild. And so I thought, okay, I'll watch the rest of it. And so I watched the rest of it. And he kind of inadvertently brings up a lot of stuff that Lacey and I have complained about for months. We just never have enough time because we only have enough time for our schedules to do one 90-minute show a week. That's all we got, because they take a lot of prep time too. It's not like, it takes at least 5 to 10 hours of research, depending on the episode, right? So for us, it's kind of like, wow. And so he brought up a lot of stuff that we have all this extra research we never get in because we're trying to keep it tight. But he brought up this stuff, so I thought, well, we'll just go over his video today because he inadvertently steps into a bunch of this stuff. We're going to go and skip ahead a little bit because this is just more of this generic stuff. But he gets on with the car stuff, and we'll break this down because he makes another big mistake here. But once again, it's the joke initially. I want to go back to say this. So the joke initially was George and Ken are on the show peddling financial advice, peddling their books or their financial products for Ramsey, right? They're giving financial advice to people, and yet you get a simple scenario of an average minimum need, budget need, right? And they don't even know what that is. They think we're talking about an individual person, not an average across the country, even though the guy said it 3 times in the TikTok video. This is an average. It's a rough average. So it cracks me up. But Phil falls into the same trap. And part of it is because they don't want to address the systemic issue, which is what the guy is trying to do. But we'll jump in here, right around, where is it? Right here.
Right.
Gas, maintenance, tires. So let's say go ahead, you were saying?
It feels like there are 2 completely separate things that are being addressed here.
Mm-hmm.
Phil and the folks at Ramsey Network are trying to address literal individuals with this literal budget, and the TikTokers seem to be trying to address what is a larger mass scale problem with a mass scale of people that are into these sort of budget categories, income categories, etc.
Right. But that was,
again, it's like an apple and orange thing.
But yeah, but when we did this, we didn't want to, we're getting in the weeds now. A lot of this shit we couldn't cover. And we did talk about, I remember we talked about that after the video. We were like, man, we could have talked about this and this and this. And, but once again, those videos they're short. They're the end of the show. And mostly that's just our dessert. It's just us being able to criticize people we know don't have a clue what they're talking about. Right? That's basically, we finished our peas, now we want our chocolate cake. That's basically what that video was.
I was like, all right, we ate the peas. Can I have the chocolate lava cake now?
Yeah, please, Mom. So that's all that was. We're just trying to point out these guys are claiming to be financial experts, and they don't even understand simple finance things that they're looking at. That was all we were pointing out. And they missed the whole point that this is addressing a big systemic issue, and their solution to it was get a roommate, get rid of your car, or pay off your car. And they never really tell you how to do any of that. They're just, just do it, right? But that doesn't solve the national problem, right? You're going to tell 90 million people, just get a roommate, and boom, poverty will end. Done. Right? That was our joke, because they don't understand what they're talking about.
Right. Tell that to my friend that's a single parent of 2 in the New York City area with a 2-bedroom apartment only. Tell her all you need to do is get rid of your vehicle and get a roommate. Well, she's kind of on the outskirts, and if she's trying to commute without her vehicle in and out of work, and she's on the outskirts because she's a single parent that,
Oh yeah, she's commuting 20 plus hours a week.
And needs more bedroom space because she's got kids, right? So she's actually one of the people who, even though she's in a large city, actually needs her car. So tell her to get rid of her car and get a roommate. Where's she going to put where's the roommate going to go?
And when is she ever going to see her kids? She's going to be communicating all the time.
She's just going to She's gonna double her commute and add a roommate. Where is she gonna be bunking in with her kids?
Yeah, like I said, it's just they're just. I don't think Phil intends it to be mean or whatnot, but it's really heartless when you think about it for 2 minutes. What he's saying, right? And what George and Ken are saying, it is really heartless. George and Ken should know better, but they don't care because that's how they make their money, right? That's why we make fun of them. I don't think Phil understands it, but he thinks, and I think he's trying to be positive and like, look, if you're just responsible and you're smart and do stuff, I think that's what he thinks he's doing. But what he's basically saying is, like I said, it's basically walking into the homeless shelter and telling them, be grateful you live in America, to somebody who's starving. Doesn't help solve the problem, and it's kind of dickish, especially for somebody who's doing okay. You know what I'm saying?